we got to bid farewell to the ETC Group brand. But at the same time, Bitwise has got such a great brand. They've got such a well-known and respected team. We're super excited about being part of such a creative, innovative, and a leader in digital assets in the US.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Bradley Duke. He's the European head of Bitwise Asset Management. Bradley, great to speak with you again. And since we last spoke, ETC Group, which you co-founded, has been acquired by Bitwise, and you're now the European head. Tell us more about the transaction and why it made sense for you.
Yes. Good morning, Stephen. Yeah. So, of course, this has been going on in the background for quite a few months now, but we are delighted, to be part of Bitwise. So this transaction it involves, two companies that have been operating very different geographies and jurisdictions. So Bitwise has been pretty much exclusively been operating in the US, and ETC Group, has been. Europe is very much its space. So UK, Europe, Switzerland has been the core markets for ETC Group, with the issuer based in Germany. But as two companies, we're very similar in the way that we both have this. Let's say we're both striving to be best in class in our sectors, and to provide the best products for investors to get exposure to this this nascent and now fast growing asset class, which is digital assets and cryptocurrencies. So two companies that have grown separately now coming together, we feel that stronger together we can offer our investors more. We can deliver more in terms of as a company by uniting forces and becoming one of the largest global pure play digital asset managers. So it's exciting times for us, and I think every single person at ETC Group is excited to now be part of Bitwise.
So Bradley, as you say, complementary businesses, do you see good cross-selling opportunities?
Yes, well, it's limited where possible, right? Because of course, there are registration requirements in the US, and similarly in Europe, and there are rules around collective investment schemes and what kind of assets you can show to what investor types in each market. So there is some crossover selling activity that will be permitted now, but mostly we will continue the US products for the US markets and the European products for the European markets. But especially when you get to the more sophisticated and the larger investors, they have historically had more freedom to invest wherever they want in the world, just by virtue of their size and level of sophistication.
Of course, the European and US markets have evolved differently, Bradley. So there's a wide range of products that are allowed in Europe that you don't have in the US at the moment. So things like ETPs that engage in staking. Is there an opportunity there?
Yes, there definitely is an opportunity there. We have in the US has progressed, especially this year, in leaps and bounds. And first of all, finally permitting the launch of the Bitcoin ETF, and then followed by the Ethereum ETF. So they have these products now which have become very popular and amassed a lot of assets under management really quickly. These products are quite strict in so far as they rely on there being a regulated market underlying. So often the case it's the futures market, which is CFTC regulated, which facilitates and allows these products the ETF products to actually be listed. This is one of the SEC's own rules on these products, and so that actually kind of really limits and narrows the scope of what is possible. The products in the US to date have not allowed for staking, where proof of stake is the underlying consensus mechanism. Whereas in Europe, there has been the approach that the regulators across Europe have taken have been more, let's say, less restrictive and allowed for more innovation at the product level, and allowed for example, staking products. We have ET32, a total return Ethereum staking product. And of course, there's been a proliferation of different staking products in Europe, basket products, based on an index of many different cryptocurrencies. In our case, we have DA20, which has 20 cryptocurrencies, so that investors can buy the market. These are innovations that are not yet allowed in the US, and so there is an opportunity as Bitwise to issue products through Europe, which would, where Bitwise was only in the US, they wouldn't be able to do.
So I noted that post-acquisition, the combined company will have assets under management of $4.5 billion. So pretty big. And your products will be rebranded as Bitwise. Is that correct, Bradley?
That's correct. Yeah. So everyone who knows us as ETC Group, and we hope that we've built a respected brand, a brand that stands for quality, that we're going to bid farewell to the ETC Group brand. But at the same time, Bitwise has got such a great brand. They've got such a well-known and respected team. We're super excited about being part of such a creative, innovative, and a leader in digital assets in the US, and who batted well, punched well above their weight in terms of being able to amass assets under management from the products that they've issued. So it's a very exciting time, and saying goodbye to the ETC brand is, for us, maybe a little bit sad, but at the same time, there's so much more positive, news around being part of Bitwise that I think everyone's happy to move on.
And Bradley, the relationship with Han ETF will continue under Bitwise.
So look, when speaking for now, we will continue business as usual. That's been the instructions from the new owners, that we continue with business as usual. Of course, business things change over time, and relationships evolve, and so for speaking for now, everything is going to continue business as usual.
Bradley, congratulations again on the news. Great speaking with you today.
Thank you. Good to speak with you as always.
That's Bradley Duke, the European head of Bitwise Asset Management.